Welcome back, everybody. Today, I'm going to be talking about Azur Lane, Volume Number 2, which comes out on the Japanese Weiss Schwarz side on January 17th, 2025. I'm also going to take a look on the English side for Volume Number 1, and then just take a look at the product schedule because it's going to be crazy what everything's coming out there. You definitely need to budget. If you don't get that at this point, I don't know if you ever will. But before I begin, just to tell you, I did go over the giveaway that is happening. You have until 7 p.m. Eastern today to enter, right? You need to give me a picture of your favorite card and the description. If you want to put multiple cards, feel free, but I want that description and it should be your favorite card that you actually own. YouTube username with the @ email me at seniorbigb@gmail.com. Remember, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. There is no exception. 7 winners for a $15 TCG player gift card. You know how I do it. I do it by wheel. Don't send me anything you don't want your parents to see. No super adulty type material, even if your parents do want to see that. Sending this will get you disqualified. And as always, these TCG player giveaways, or the giveaways I do anyways, is made possible because of all of you who support this link right here, who use that. If you use that and purchase anything off TCG player, I get a portion back to me, which I use for the giveaways. So thank you so much for everyone who uses that. But now back on topic here, Azur Lane Volume Number 2 JP side. I don't believe it has been announced for the English side. Do I think it will be announced for the English side? Why wouldn't it? If you are trying to tell people that it probably won't come out, you are lying to them for some certain reason. I mean, it has a good possibility. I mean, freaking Volume 1 on the English side got reprinted with silver signatures. I mean, it should be coming. They made them a lot of money. It made them a lot of money on the English side, the Japanese side, every kind of side. You can see these cards right here. They made a special website, right? Like, look at this website page. Normally, if you go to any other product page, you're going to see this. You're going to get this little white page. You also get this on Goddess of Victory Nikkei. You get this special version too. So you can tell right away, Azur Lane, Goddess of Victory Nikkei, they know is very important to have that, right? And just to prove it to you one more time, what was something that came out just recently? So here's Goddess of Victory Nikkei, right? You can see this on this page right here, December 13th. But then you have Dan with a trial deck, so we won't use that. Girls Band Cry Premium Booster Box. You get this white page, right? You don't get anything fancy. Then Azur Lane, you get this really nice looking page. So they definitely are putting effort into this. So you can see what's happening on here. If you just click this special version, voila, you get a special version. That was already on the special version. Let me do that again. Bang, look at that. It's a pretty freaking nice. And if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to just spin this around to see Cheshire, well, you can go and look at some of the previews that we got here. This is actually pretty nice. Take a look at this. This is going to be your Enterprise. This is going to be the AGR for the set, voice actress signature. You also get the serial number down in here. I know it may be a little hard. Let me see. Let me zoom in. There you go. It's a little blurry, but the serial number is right there. So that's really cool that they actually do that. So I'm just going to show you this. Oh, look at it. If you want to see a real time what these cards look like, here it is, SEC Plus. You can see the foiling, all that great stuff happening. But do you notice, outside of the amazing foiling, man, that Roon looks so good. There is no signatures on the SEC Plus. So without further ado, here you go. This is going to be your SEC Plus. That was your real version. Here are your samples if you want to take a look at them one more time. They do look very beautiful. Now moving on here, here's your triple rare pluses. Normally, as we saw with some other sets, pretty expensive, and you can tell why. I think these are going to do fairly well on the JP side for Azur Lane Volume Number 2. Now, just to show you some of the stuff that I didn't want to click through because it would take some effort to just click all of them, even though the website's nice and all, I prefer not having to go like this and then these just all be lined up for me, right? Like, it just be better that way. So here you go. Here are all the different pictures that we got going on. I do love them. Yeah, it just looks so freaking nice. So the nice part about this is they showed the base version and then the parallel version. Let's see if I can center that. Yeah, I just had to click right in the middle. There you go. Some of these are interesting. Okay, I mean, you could interpret that to mean anything you want, but I do love this version. Something about the piano looking all classy and everything like that. I love it. Freaking I love it. Now, I know some people are gonna go for some cards like the one on this screen right now for multiple different reasons. That this set should be freaking amazing. Now, I had Goddess of Victory Nikke up for a purpose outside of just showing off the webpage, right? Like this is gonna be an amazing battle because this came out not too far apart from each other, right? When you think about this, Goddess of Victory Nikke came out on December 13th, 2024. And then you have Azur Lane on January 17th, 2025. They're really close together. Now, when it comes to in terms of budgeting, when you think about the English side, it's gonna be a lot of things that potentially come out that you may want to budget for. And it could be a tremendous battle of which ones you're going to pick. And that's not even including ReZero. You also got Fujimi potentially. You also got Sneaker Bunko potentially. Just a lot of sets that for whatever reason, and I keep saying it that way because you all know what I'm saying. You all get where I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot of reasons why people pick up those sets, right? They may like the IP, they may like the art, they may want the meta like Goddess of Victory Nikke, where everybody's trying out some of the different decks. But there's also other things going on. But if you have not seen Azur Lane Volume Number 1, here is the videos that I made. So right here is the booster box. It's called Got Anime Waifus. Did I really type that as a title? Weiss Schwarz Azur Lane got you covered. See the booster box cards and info. And then I did a second part to that one. This one is with the trial decks. So remember, this is why I actually had this up. The SEC version in Azur Lane Volume 1 were signed. The ones that we get for Volume number 2, though SEC Plus, is not signed. Really got to understand that, right? So people aren't really surprised. If you want to see what's actually all in here, I didn't go over this. So we got that AGR 1 type, SEC Plus 4 types, Triple Rare Plus 5 types, SP41, Triple Rare 14, Super Rare 116 species. I don't know why they said species and it changed from type, but who really knows? And of course, we got that Enterprise AGR by Yui Ishikawa. Now, moving over here to the Azur Lane Volume 1 English. Remember, keep in mind, I'm showing you this because I want you to understand right away how much people really love this set. So the big thing is when you get a reprint, you're not going to reprint 100% of whatever wave the first edition was. I was going to say wave 1, but first edition. Normally that's the case just because there's enough people that had it, but there wasn't enough, right? So let's say 75% of the demand was met. You're not going to print off the same exact number because now you only have 25% left of the demand. That doesn't make sense to actually do it that way. But one of the big things I was watching out for when it came to the second edition was how many cases were there and at what price they were going for. My big number there was if it breaks over 1,000, 1,100, that is where you're gonna be like, oh no, something crazy is about to happen. So you can see right here on the Azur Lane second edition case, even though it was reprinted, even though their singles are silver signatures in here, right now on TCG Player 1449.99. Again, you can check other places on the internet and potentially find them. But the last sold on TCG Player was, as I zoom in here and the box disappears on me, 1049.97. Okay, and that was on November 9th. And you can see where we are, 1449.99. You also can take a look at the second edition boxes, which is showing here at 109.99. But do people actually buy it for that price? The answer is yes, they do. 1227, 1223, 1221. You could see it after the first edition happened and you get these silver second editions, people are still willing to pay over $100. Now, don't get confused by this first edition box. It's going for $180. On the outside, it says $80, but that's because someone put a Goddess of Victory Nikkei Japanese box down here for $80. Okay, so that's where that is. Are people buying it for absurd prices? Two have sold on December 26th for $165. And then one was sold $164 on December 16th. So you can see where this is all going, right? There's people willing to buy first editions. There's people, like I've always said, willing to buy second editions because they cost less. And the only difference when it comes to that is the gold signature versus the silver signature. And then you have to ask yourself, are people willing to buy silver signatures? Right? There you go. That's obviously the next question, which I need to go onward to. Oh yeah, by the way, trial decks really expensive for Eagle Union. Interesting, right? $250. 12/28, which is actually today's date, sold for $249. Can you believe that? Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so flipping over here, here are your SPs. And you take a look at these SPs. And what I did here was I lined them up from A to Z. I didn't want to see high to low. We already know some of these SPs are freaking expensive, right? Some are sold out, some are trial decks, some are booster boxes. But what I really wanted to get from this was, do people buy the silver signatures? And if you just take a look at this one, this Amagi, you see no sales as of yet. This Aquila, no sales as of yet, even though it's pretty low down there. But then I'm going to keep going down here, and then you're going to see this Azuma, right? Both gone. And then you take a look. I'm gonna go just the Cheshire because Cheshire is one I really love. And you can see the gold signature, silver signature, all gone. Silver signature was there, not anymore. The one sitting here under the gold. I wanted to show you this because people ask me all the time, and I still get these questions to this day. It's probably like I got one 2 weeks ago. Should I buy JP or English, which holds their value more? And you could just you obviously there's probably examples on the JP side that are more expensive, maybe because they have signatures versus English no signatures. Let's go one for one. Let me just show you this gold signature down here. What you're going to notice is if anybody's in the market for a gold signature for the Japanese version, it's on TCG Player for $100. Okay. But obviously, Cheshire has gone for way more than that in the gold signature slot, silver signature all gone. So, what I will tell you is this, as I've said multiple times over and over again. Let me find New Jersey. New Jersey. Where are you? It's in alphabetical order. I just need to find the ends. There we are. You can see right here on New Jersey, gold signature, silver signature. It's beautiful having a silver signature with a blue background. Looks very great. Gold signature over here, of course, is expensive as well. You can see $1,000 and 99 cents because we need to have that shipping, of course, even though I don't think you'd be sending it 99 cents worth of shipping. It'd probably be a little bit more. But you can see right here, this other one, this is going to be $625.99 for a gold version Japanese version. So you tell me again, which would you rather own? Would you own an English edition or a JP edition if you wanted to have higher value? Does it say anything about saleability for being that high up? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. I always like to leave you some things. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with this. I kind of hit on it earlier, so I can't really leave you with it. But when you take a look at the JP Weiss Schwarz side, and I always stress the whole idea of budgeting because I know all of you have many things to pay for, like having fun, some cards, living expenses, food. When you take a look at this list, what would you like to have? I mean, we got Roroni Kenshin on the English side with no signatures. Yay, we're going to get that one. But are we going to get Hollow Life, a remix, a box? Are we going to get Fujimi? We're never going to get Gochi Usa. Uh, are we getting some laid back camp? And some of these might have been already announced, then my brain just totally lost it. But ReZero Volume 3, not announced yet. Are we going to get the AGR? Goddess of Victory Nikkei. Are we getting the AGR? That's already coming, so you should have already pre-ordered for it. If not, you should be looking right now. And then Azur Lane Volume 2. You also have Oshinoko Volume number 2. The Magi Sisters. What else we got? We got Gun Gale Online Volume 2, Sneaker Bunko Volume 2, Dun Dun Dun. That's definitely coming for the English side at some point. So that's not even including everything that's coming out on the English side already announced over here. This is just the JP. We all know this is eventually, some of this stuff below is going to come out. So make sure you know what you're doing. And this is the reason why I don't want to double buy. People ask me all the time, are you opening that stuff on the Japanese version? And I go, no. And they go, why? And it's because who wants to spend money on the JP version when the English one is coming? Yeah, I guess if you want to make YouTube videos or just want to have it in your hand right away, or you just like the Japanese language, it all makes sense to me to do that. But for me, I'm gonna wait. And it's gonna be a glorious time when I get those English cards in my hands. But that is everything. Let me know your thoughts, what you're going to do when it comes to all this. Maybe take a second job, something that will pay for this hobby. But reality, balance your budget. You'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun. You don't need to have these cards, and that's part of collecting. Going back years later and trying to get it. Though, if you all hate investors, I don't know where you're going to get the supply of this stuff, because just take a look at what's happening here. This is why you need investors, so that there's a supply in the future for you. Even though it's a little bit more expensive in the future, at least guarantees that for you. But as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.